Well, the World Cup may be the icing on the cake, but the domestic league is the bread and butter upon which every true football nation builds its four-yearly assault on glory. The challenge for Australia to convince more people of the connection and to forge that link between club and fan. One that comes so organically when swathed in the national flag, one that needs a little more work when it's club colours. Sydney FC's return to Allianz Stadium has certainly helped in that regard. Crowds have shot up from an average of 5,000 to over 20,000. But on the pitch, it's been anything but a welcome return. The Sky Blues yet to win back at the refurbished SFS. And they come into this one on the back of two straight losses. Lose again, and pressure will build on Steve Corica. As for tonight, the headline team news for Sydney is that Jack Rodwell is fit to make his first appearance for the club and slots into the heart of defence alongside James Donachie, with Aaron Gurd dropping down to the bench. A blow for Steve Corica though. Robert Mack is unwell, so Max Burgess gets his first start of the campaign. Pablo Retre also gets his first start of the season in midfield in place of Patrick Yazbek, who is also on the sick list. Patrick Wood continues up front, even though Adam Fondre is fit enough to take his place on the bench. Now, City are without the suspended Aidan O'Neill after his red card against the Newcastle Jets. Richard van der Ven and Valon Berisha form a new-look midfield partnership as Rado Vidicic rejigs things. Nuno Reis returns in defence. Scott Jamieson reverts to left-back. Jordan Boss will play in advance of him, with Matt Leckie as the 10. Andrew Naboot returns. Marco Tilio is on the bench alongside Curtis Good, but still no Florent Berenguer. Melbourne City playing in a version of their old red and white stripes. So two teams in their away kits, and Sydney FC desperate to try and feel at home at their refurbished home. And of course a new era as well for Melbourne City, as mentioned, Andy Harper under Rado Vidicic.
Evening, Simon, welcome back. What a great time to be a football fan as the world watches with bated breath as the championship of the planet is decided in the Middle East. We can get back to local football, and I've missed the last couple of weeks of watching the guys go round. Absence, they say, makes the heart grow fonder, and I just cannot wait for this game to unfold. Two heavyweights in the domestic competition, and Melbourne City sitting waiting to be dethroned. Can Sydney make an imprint today?
Talking of absences, that was a little bit loose, wasn't it, from James Donachie? Andrew Redmayne did well to reel that one in.
I see how Pablo Retre on the ball now can get back to his swing of things. Robert Mack's been great, but I tell you what, Burgess against Celtic was quite incredible. Last start here for Sydney.
Scored in that game, of course. 2-1 win for Sydney. They'll feel perhaps has got the monkey off the back in terms of Allianz. It's a lovely turn, and it strikes the outside of the post. Patrick Wood with the snapshot. Van der Ven and Jordan Boss combining really well, and Van der Ven to drive it, that had some meat behind it, and it cannons away off Jack Rodwell. Leckie trying to make his way through pretty heavy traffic.
Jordan Boss doesn't suffer by comparison with any of those. Fits right into that discussion. We just saw an example of him there with that raid 4. Here's a yellow card. Berisha.
Patrick Wood, of course, now fully aware that Adam Fondre is fit again and raring to go on the bench. Again, the switch. This time it's more effective. Joe Lolly. And Lolly, that was heading goalwards before Scott Jamieson's intervention. Clearance from Redmayne. to be slightly off balance. Berisha. 1-2 with Van der Ven. Inside them is Leckie. He's going to have to go some to get there ahead of James Donachie, who is adjudged to have had the final touch, and it'll be a City corner. And Redmayne to punch. Brought down by Tolman. Behind him is Jamison. Berisha making a run in behind, but they go the opposite side. And Leckie, they do appeal for handball, and Adam Kersey has no doubts and says penalty. Luke Bratton, the offender. There were 2 or 3 shouts that went up immediately, and Adam Kersey concurs with those appeals and awards Melbourne City a spot kick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Goodness me. What is he thinking there, Luke Bratton?
Well, he probably wasn't. That's the problem. That's a reflex action.
And when you give away a penalty, you don't want to do it against Melbourne City, because Jamie McLaren is normally like a metronome from 11 metres. However, we also know that the grey wiggle, or in this case, the yellow wiggle tonight, can stop a penalty too. 4 successful conversions for McLaren this season, and he makes it 5. McLaren into the corner. Redmayne guessed the right way, got a hand. He scores for the 7th consecutive game, Jamie McLaren, which equals Mark Yanko's mark, and now just 1 behind Andy Keogh, who scored in 8 games consecutively. He holds the A-League record, and McLaren's not far off.
Well, it's a checkered history, Luke Bratton against his former team, Melbourne City. And he's added to that with that handball on the Harvey Norman replay. The wiggle nearly gets it, but nearly's not good enough against Jamie McLaren, who casts a glance over his left shoulder at referee Kersey and then fires the ball in the same direction, inside the goal, to make it 1-0 for Melbourne City. And all Sydney's good opening work has come undone.
And the league leaders lead. Here's Burgess. Chance to make it 1-1. What a save, a double save from Tom Glover. Still alive for Sydney, it's 1-1. Joe Lolly feeding on the scraps. And Sydney's response is instantaneous. Melbourne City could not clear their lines. And Lolly poked it home, and their wishes have been granted.
Well, there's one way, once you've fallen off the wagon, to get straight back on, and that's from the kick-off. Harvey Norman replay shows Paolo Retre probably should have nailed the header at first invitation, but then he stays in the contest. A beautiful cross from Burgess, and then he scrapped away beautifully to keep it alive. And Lolly for Christmas, on point, in perfect response to the youngsters in the stands to draw level. Not 30 seconds after that conceded the lead.
It was that ball in from Max Burgess that did all the damage. Retre had the first chance, but when it finally broke to Joe Lolly, the Englishman wasn't going to miss from there. Here's McLaren. Rodwell did make the block and a boot to try and set it up again. Thomas Lamb, and I think Redmayne saw that one late, but reacted quickly enough to push it away. Leckie. That's going to be a free kick for City. Both players down, feeling the effects.
Bratton again on Leckie.
Yep, I think it's the 2 same players.
This has been a recurring theme, firstly for the penalty, then on the medical check required on Leckie, and now it's Luke Bratton steaming in.
Yep, there we go. Yellow card for the Sydney FC skipper. Probably warranted as well. It's his 4th booking of the campaign, which puts him on the brink of a suspension. And here comes City. It's Andrew Naboot and Jamie McLaren. Fantastic stop from Redmayne. It wouldn't have counted anyway because the flag is up. But Redmayne wasn't to know that. Max Burgess on the ball. A round one challenge. Feet from Burgess. Caballo invited forward. Bit of space here for Anthony Caceres. And still Caceres, surely for Sydney. And they cannot force it over the line. Wood had a go at it. Burgess too. There might have been an offside flag that had gone up anyway. But a really good move. And Caceres perhaps had the best opportunity of all in the first place.
Yeah, interesting that Anthony took that extra touch to the byline to cut it back, and did Max Burgess make the save? In the end, he's in the way, but I think the flag would have been up for offside.
Marto Vidicic about to deliver his first half-time team talk in a decade. Are they going to go in front? Jamie McLaren on target, but straight at Redmayne. Two Socceroos teammates. What a terrific first half, Hubs.
Very good. Great return to A-League action after the World Cup break. Quite sure how much time the Melbourne City players had off, but Sydney only the 3 days after Celtic, straight back to work, and we've seen the fruit of that in this first half. Excellent stuff.
Really good entertainment. Jamie McLaren putting City in front on 21 minutes after Luke Bratton had rather inexplicably handled the ball, but the lead didn't last too long. Joe Lolly in a flash at the other end within 60 seconds with the equaliser, and their Christmas present gifts have arrived early at Allianz Stadium. Cracking first half, hopefully more to come. At the break, all square. Sydney FC 1, Melbourne City 1. Jack Rodwell is the man who's been withdrawn by Steve Corica. Obviously a little bit short of a gallop still on the back of his long absence, so Aaron Girds will play alongside James Donachie in the heart of the Sydney FC defence, and you just hope from Sydney's point of view it's not a recurrence of any injury problem for Rodwell. Here's Max Burgess, who's been excellent first half for Sydney. Wood trying to readjust and get clear of Jamison, not able to do so. What do you make of that half-time switch, Andy Harper?
Well, we'll have to see, of course. If it's tactical or precautionary, or in fact if Jack has hurt himself again, let's hope it's not the last of those three.
Nicely floated over the top of Boss by Burgess. Lolly twisting this way and that to try and get rid of him, and he got the shot away, didn't he, Joe Lolly? And Glover had to stretch.
Managed to recruit quite a bit of power behind this one. I don't know how it was difficult. He was under intense scrutiny, not even perfectly balanced.
That's a pretty clear shirt tug from Thomas Lamb, and an easiest yellow card of the night for Adam Kersey.
That's a great little touch. And a good burst of speed from Caceres. Had Lamb beaten.
Looking for the Finn, who you might remember was sent off against Wellington Phoenix, the only match this season that Melbourne City have actually dropped points after leading by 2-0. Sydney FC looking to mount a charge here in front of the Cove. Caballo on free kick duty. Good, and Donachie waiting at the back post. Goes in that sort of direction, and it'll pop. And Lolly, oh, and Glover didn't know too much about it, and cannot keep out the follow-up. And wouldn't you know it, fresh off the bench, Adam Fondre is there to pounce for his first ever goal at Allianz Stadium in front of the Cove, and Sydney, with half an hour to play, lead by 2-1.
Well, it's a crucial moment for Sydney. As we wait for the goal to be cleared, it's a fantastic hit from Lolly. Tommy Glover does well. Off the rebound of Adam Fondre. It's great reaction from Fondre too. He smashed it, did Lolly. And Fondre stoops in to head the ball goalward. Great first touch, great effort from Tommy Glover. And Sydney with their nose in front.
Oh, it's just pure instinct, isn't it? Intervention by Burgess. And there's Joe Lolly here on the left. Kills the ball in an instant and tries to bend it around. It's the right idea. Curtis Goods back in the nick of time for City.
And in good nick. That's his first contribution since coming off the bench, Curtis Good. Fantastic player. But this is not easy. Lolly curls in a really dangerous offering.
4 years the Cove has waited to celebrate a win at the Sydney Football Stadium. They score here, it'll be much more of a probability. Burgess's delivery, good at the back post.
There's alert to it. Composed. Little clearance, but Sydney come again.
Rattray, little flick towards Burgess. Just that outstretched leg of Goods, denying perhaps the third goal.
That's two really crucial interventions from Curtis Good since coming off the bench. That one in particular from Max Burgess was certainly heading towards the goal. Would have asked a question again of Tommy Glover. Nice work from Rattray. His return to the team has been a good one.
Ball by Rattray, and Caceres, they adjusted beautifully to reel it in. Caballo, Caceres, they overdid that a little bit. I think Sydney.
Yeah, you're right, Simon. He's looking back to his better form. There's a couple of times in the second half where the attack just hasn't gone to a conclusion that it might. Not quite sharp enough, maybe tiring a little bit.
Taras Kamulka is on in place of Thomas Lamb, who played that holding midfield role in the absence of Aidan O'Neill. 87 minutes, Kamulka, natural replacement in that role. Here's Tilio getting beyond Segicic. Can City grab an equaliser here? It's a really good block by Aaron Gerd, who again takes the plaudits from Rattray and the rest of his team.
That's a stunning bit of work from Gerd. It was pretty tidy on the near touchline as well. And Tilio bursts away, leaving Caballo in his wake.
It's produced this corner, which Berisha takes towards an air post, and Van der Ven helps it on. Hooked away for Sydney. And Fondre leaping highest. Is there going to be a late twist here? Worked out by Jamison towards Jordan Boss. Berisha, Jamison. Caballo underneath that one. Volleyed away by Segicic. Back comes City. Tilio. Ballon Berisha. And they've got a man over here. It's Jamison. Maybe could have gone himself. opted instead to try and square it up for a teammate.
Can Sydney see them away here in Moore Park and get their first home win of the season?
Tilio claiming he was being held. He's determined to win it back, and he's done so. Marco Tilio still going. Tilio! Back off the crossbar. Wow. I think it's still shaking. He can't believe he hasn't squared the ledger. He lost the ball first up, but his determination to win it back. And then he powered on. And City not dead yet. Gamulka to float it. Was there a push by Boss? McLaren couldn't readjust. Sydney hanging on a bit here. If it arrives, it will be a much-needed win for Steve Corica, who went into the World Cup break. Oh, Tom Glover. Well, the ball rebounded into his midriff, and I think just instinctively, being a goalkeeper, he just grabbed the ball. And he can't do that outside the penalty area. Well, that's the most extraordinary thing I've seen in a long while.
But you know what the Sydney players are asking? Is that not stopping a definite opportunity for scoring a goal?
Well, they've got a fair point. He's received a yellow. Of course, VAR could upgrade it. Here's how it happened. Just rebounded straight into him. It's all happening here. Sydney head for the corner. City, of course, desperate to get back up the other end. They've got to do it very, very quickly. Curtis Good knows that. Oh. Sydney will have another free kick. Taras Gamulka charging at the player rather than towards the ball. They're very close now, Sydney FC. In fact, victory is confirmed for the Sky Blues, who played in the Sydney Sunset kit tonight, and it did the trick. A first win at the redeveloped Allianz for Sydney FC. They've had to wait a while, but it's finally arrived. Their first here since April 2018. And it's one that ends Melbourne City's unbeaten start to the campaign. Jamie McLaren puts Rado Vidosic's team in front from the penalty spot. And Joe Lolly equalised virtually immediately. And then Adam Fondre came off the bench and won it for the Sky Blues. And the pressure has eased a little bit on Steve Corica as a result. Sydney FC fans finally able to celebrate a win here at Allianz. They have defeated the reigning premiers Melbourne City by 2-1.